Say good mornings. I am so excited to bring to you our first live readathon for kids. This one is going to be for kids aged 3 to 8. I am super excited to be reading my book How Our Skin Sparkles today. I picked this book because this is the first book in my series, which is the Sparkling Me series. I am Aditi Singh. I am the founder, editor, chief executive officer of this platform. I am so excited for everyone who's joining me today because they're all women doing great things, not just with books, with their brands. I am going to be reading this book now for all the little ones out there. So if you have any questions when you're reading, when I'm reading, I'm always a little nervous when doing these lives. I hope that's understandable. But if you have any questions, of course, pop them in the comment box, or you can DM us later after the readings are done. And every author is going to be reading their book, and you are free to reach out to them for free activities that you can access after the readings are done. Okay, How Our Skin Sparkles. Now, this is my favorite book because the names of the kids are based on my kids. And of course, like I mentioned, this is the first book in the Sparkling Me series. And it's based on Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous quote, "I dream of a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Because I truly believe that if we want our kids to be strong and confident, we want them to know beforehand what having different skin colors means. Arav rushes into the house roaring. Pretending to be a dinosaur is never boring. His shoes at the door, on the hook go his bag and jacket. Sharvi, his sister, winces at the colossal racket. "I'm hungry," he whines, and rushes to build Legos. Trying to mimic her hero, his sister snuggles up close. Ma brings shakarpare, sweet munchies-shaped squares. The kiddos munch and crunch. Happily they share. Arav chats about his day, and so does his mom. They smile and frown as they talk on and on. Arav then places his hand next to his ma's, close together. "Our hands look different. Why is my skin color a little darker?" Eyes twinkling, Ma bends to touch his beautiful face. "You were born this way in God's thoughtful grace. So interesting that you ask. Answering this is many a parent's task. And you know that the Indian god Krishna is of a darker hue? When he was young, he asked his mother, just like you, 'My friends are fair, why am I so blue?' Ma Yashoda smiled and said, 'For there is only one unique you.'" So why do you wonder about this today? Towards the color of your skin, why did your thoughts stray? With wondering eyes and lips turned down, Arav recalls the day with his face in a frown. "Other kids in my class have skin fair, eyes blue. When we held our hands together, they said, 'I am different. Is that true?'" "Look at little Sharvi. She is fairer than me. Why would God make us different in different colors? I do not see." Ma hugs both her kids, gathering them onto her lap. She kisses them both and gives Thappi with a gentle tap. "My little boy, there is a thing in your body called melanin. It is amazing stuff that sparkles your skin. It causes pigmentation like colorful balls in a pit. Some people have less, others have more than a little bit." I hope you all have kids who have enjoyed the ball pit at some point in their time, because it's super fun. Then it also depends on the parent's birthplace. Where we come from comes through our face. It tells people where our family and ancestors belong. This always plays in our being like a forgotten song. You have our genes. Your origin is Indian. Your sister has the same, but in a different combination. Little Sharvi looked on with glee. She did not know all the words, but she loved Ma's thumpy. Ma brought the kids closer and held them tight. No color is better, whether you look dark or light. Little books come in, or just like books, come on in different sizes and shapes, but all are filled with stories that leave us agape. Telling people about us is the job of our color. Our skin also protects us as a natural cover. From the harshest weather to sunshine or rain, keeping our bones and muscles safe is no easy game. Your friends may look different, be black or blue-eyed. It is important to remember we are all the same inside. With hearts full of love and actions of kindness, it is people of every color that bring the world happiness. For without different colors, can a rainbow be exciting? All the flowers would be dull, no garden inviting. It matters not what people say or what they look like. It is everyone's choice what they like or dislike. When in the mirror you see your reflection, your skin color should not attract your attention. Instead, see how the days pass and how you grow. You are divine within. That is all you should know. Arav nodded in understanding and jumped off his ma's lap. Sharvi followed, dancing, and they began to rap-a-tap-tap. My friends and I, we rock our melanin. Look at our colors. Are we not amazing? It does not matter what we look like outside. It matters only that we hold the world inside. Next day, Arav told his friends about our amazing skin, how it sparkles with all that we hold within. The end. I hope you all have enjoyed this book, How Our Skin Sparkles. The second book in the series is Sparkles of Joy, which is about the celebrations, Diwali, Christmas and Hanukkah that are happened together. The third book is Small or Tall, We Sparkle After All, which is of course about how kids perceive their own bodies and the science behind our height. Then we have The Sparkles Within, is about how to find your talent. Because these are all, it's important to understand how our talent is inside us. It's difficult sometimes, even as adults, we don't know what it is. So I think that book is really, really lovely and close to my heart. And another children's book that I have written is Amaya's Two Worlds. It is the start of the Amaya series, so I'm very excited about that. It is about Amaya and how she goes to India for the first time, and she's very scared about the language she's going to, whether she should speak Hindi, Marathi, or how people will look at her accent. And I think it was wonderful to show an Indian wedding in a book. So Amaya's Two Worlds is, and it's closely based to my own self. So I'm very excited about that. Now, one thing I'm going to be asking all the amazing authors coming on here is, what is your favorite book that shaped your childhood, and what is a woman in history you admire? So I'll go first, of course, since I am here. One of the books that I wouldn't call it one book, because just like a series, it's a series, the Amar Chitra Katha. Lot of my books you will see have mythology references to them. That's because of my love for the Amar Chitra Katha and how it shaped my childhood. And I would constantly read them, and I have a collection myself now, and my kids read them. They're a great resource if you can find them for yourself. And a woman in history I admire a lot is Jhansi Ki Rani. What she did for her people and how she took her bravery has always inspired me. So these are two people that I so admire. This is Jhansi Ki Rani I so admire, and the Amar Chitra Katha is the series I really admire and aspire to help kids everywhere understand the mythology behind our stories. What is happening next for me is I'm very excited. It's a bilingual series of books called Our Festivals. It'll be Our in like Hamari Diwali, Hamari Holi, and the series is based on the why in the now. Why do we celebrate these festivals, and how the reasons of celebrating those festivals are applicable in the today. And of course, it's another children's book series for kids, so I'm super excited about that. Without further ado, I would love to call my next guest, who is Dilraz Kunumal. I hope she is online because, oops, let me see if I can find her. Uh, I have sent an invite to Dilraz. By the time she joins, if anyone has any questions, I would love for you to pop those down here. Or meanwhile, I can give you fun facts about what's coming up in life and updates behind what we are doing at Raising Whole Children. I am just going to check. Uh, I am so excited. I'm just checking if Dilraz is live because, of course, it is. Mm, I'm going to invite both her handles and see. Oh, okay, fine. I think I added the wrong handle. My bad, I think.
I am here. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Hi, Dilraz. How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm doing great as always. It's a pleasure being on a live with you.
Yes, I am. I always am so excited by all the wonderful people who have done their first lives with me. So, thank you so much for joining the Readathon today. I'm so excited to be celebrating Read Across America with you. Actually, we should call it Read Across the World.
Yes.
So, please share a little bit about yourself.
So I am Dilraz Kundamal. I am a journalist. I work for a university now as a communications manager. I have two kids. My Ayan Ninja is 8, and my Amara B is 2.5. So a lot of my last 8 years revolved around them, while finding myself and exploring my own self and thriving. Hopefully, as a parent, we'll only know from my kids about that, but also as an individual and growing. So I've had the fortune of being surrounded by some incredible women, some great mentors like Aditi herself, who took me along on my book publishing journey, and it was with her that I published my first book, which I'll read today. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thank you so much. And like I mentioned, we are going to be discussing why you're reading this book. But since, of course, this is your first children's book, I would rather hear why you wrote the book.
Okay, so this is what I will be reading today. It's called See You Soon. And I wrote it because I went back to work, to the office, when my son was 2.5 months old. And then around 2 years, we had to change his nurseries. And then he got really upset because he could understand that mama's going away. Mama's leaving me here and going away. So he would be upset when I left him. But, in a few minutes, I knew he was fine. He was happy with his caretakers. But that, separation anxiety was a topic that was on the top of my head constantly, right? And I couldn't find any resources at the time, to help him adjust. So then I thought, let's build something. And it's a matter of serendipity, actually, that I came across, Aditi and I met on, we've never met in person. We are both Gulf babies, but we've been, in different parts of the world. And we happened to run into each other on a parenting blogging forum. And then I wrote for her Raising World Children website. And then randomly out of the blue, I saw a post from her that said, if you have a book idea, maybe I can help you bring it alive. And so that's how my little dream of writing a book became a reality. She took me step by step along that journey, and here it is. I've had, I am so proud to say that this book has sold over 5,000 copies globally, and it really surprises me even to this day that I have this in my hands. But I feel blessed and lucky to be here today.
Thank you. Now, before let's start reading.
Yes, let's get right into it. So it's called See You Soon. Let me just move this a little back so you can see the whole
Yes.
book. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so the illustrations are by a group called Illustrations Hub. This is the dedication page. It's obviously dedicated to my son, and now I'm also going to dedicate it to my daughter because she wasn't around when I wrote the book. Okay, a big hug and a kiss. Bye bye, my baby. I love you so much. See you soon, said Mama as she went away. See, she's saying bye to her baby. When Mama works, I play and learn, looked after by those who adore me, teachers, grandparents, or my nanny. So different people have different arrangements to look after their kids. Some days I spend time with my granny and gramps, yummy ice cream, giant hugs, and taking turns on the swings. Some days I stay with my nanny. She kisses my boo-boos and wipes my tears, taking such good care of me. Mama is not with me right now, and that's all right. I know she loves me more than words can say. We both cried when she first said bye, but slowly she and I learned to be fine. I was scared but that she might forget me, but she always came back at the end of the day. So that's what you need to remember, that even if Mama goes away, she will always come back for you. I miss my mama a lot, but she makes me very proud, always being the best that she can be. See, mama is a superhero. I'm sure many of you agree with that. My friends and I love to talk about mommy and to share stories about how awesome she is. What does she do? My teacher asked. So all of our mommies do different things, right? So this is what the mommies of this particular classroom do. Mine is a doctor, said Emily. My mom volunteers at the shelter, said Antonio. My mom is a chef, said Tiana. My mommy is a lawyer, said Jamal. My ma does research, said Radha, and my mama is an engineer, said Ang. See how lovely that classroom is? It's got people of different colors from different places of the world. It is so wonderful and diverse, and I think it's very important for us to continuously celebrate. Well, they're all super moms and super amazing, admire the teacher. They are fierce and strong and oh so lovely, each wonderful in their own way. See, all the wonderful mommies. Some go to a workplace while others stay at home. Wherever they are, every mama works very hard, and you mean the world to your mama. You mean the world to your mama. Okay. So some days I still feel sad when mama has to drop me, but playing with my friends always cheers me up. We build blocks, race cars, and cook on our kitchen set. At the nursery, we enjoy learning together, circle time, splish splash, and getting messy with paints too. But, you're always thinking about your mama and your mama's thinking about you too. Mama may be busy, but I'm always on her mind. I cannot wait for her to get here. Mama and me, we make the best team. When she comes in through the door, I run to her with glee. Her face gives me joy and I make her heart smile. See, there he is running to his mama. All right. We are a family, but there are others too. Helping hands that support us, keeping me safe and happy, cheering as mama reaches for the sky. So we mamas won't be able to be so amazing without the help from so many wonderful people around us. Whether it's your teachers, whether it's dada, whether it is your grandparents, whether it's friends, there are a lot of people around us who help us. We eagerly wait for the holidays, full of excitement, heaps of cuddles, fun laughter from morning till night. Giggles and tickles and dancing away, being so silly till the moon shines bright. Right? Do you guys do that too? Laughing around and having fun from morning to night on your holidays. And then it's time for bed. A big yawn, a snuggle, and a bedtime story. Good night, sleep tight, my darling child, said Mama. Close your eyes and dream of wonders tonight. I love you today, tomorrow, and ever after. I love you too, Mama, I say. I close my eyes and fall asleep, eager to see what tomorrow brings. A big hug and a kiss. And that's how I say goodnight to my boy and my girl. And I hope that's how you say goodnight to your mama and dada too. So I hope you enjoyed my little book. There is also a page in there for with some tips for mums and dads who are going to go on this journey. And I hope it will be helpful for all of you who get that.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Of course, I tell everyone I'm the book aunt. Yes, I am. Thank you so much,
Yes, you
Dilraz.
are.
Yes, but thank you so much for reading this wonderfully heartwarming book for us. Now, of course, you have to answer two questions. One, which was the book that impacted you growing up?
So one of, I mean, of course, we read a multitude of books at the time, including Amar Chitra Katha, which I loved quite a bit. But if I had to pick one book, I would probably go with Matilda. And
Nice.
because it was about a child finding her feet, it was about a child standing up to bullying, it was about a child being strong,
Yeah.
and how she came into her own, how she was supported by her teacher, her friends, and how she shined. So I would say everyone who's starting to read and should try reading Matilda at different ages, because obviously the book and the details change. So I would say Matilda.
Wonderful. And since it's Women's History Month, I thought, of course, we have to share what women in history inspires you.
Okay, right. This might sound a bit, random, but I thought about it, and I'm actually going to pick, somebody who was so glamorous and so amazing, when we were growing up. It's Princess Diana. And
Yes.
I mean, yes, she was a princess, and yes, she had all these things, and yes, she had that amazing crown, and such a beautiful face. But what many people don't realize is that she was also a philanthropist, and she was also out there doing things. She was using her privilege to the betterment of the people. She broke taboos with people, when with people with certain illnesses that other people were shunning, and she was out there using her privilege. And I think that's a lesson that we all can imbibe. All of us are privileged in some way or the other, and we can use that for the betterment of our society, whether it is giving a meal to somebody who needs it, or whether it is standing up to a bully we see in school, or there are so many ways we can stand up and make our voice heard, just like Princess Diana did.
Wonderful. And of course, please share what's coming up next.
Okay, so I've so far have two books published to my name. One was obviously the one I read for you, See You Soon, which is a children's book. I also have a book for mums and dads about breastfeeding. It's called Drops of Nurture, and it is a 30-story anthology from different mothers sharing different aspects of that journey. However, at this point of time, I'm super excited to announce that my third book, which is a children's book, is actually live on Amazon right now. It went live, I think, yesterday. So it's called We Are All Different and We Are All Amazing. And it goes back to what, Aditi said inspired her, right? About how, it's not the color of our skin that define us, and how it's not how we look, how we talk, how we eat, how we think that define us. So it is a picture book which aims to celebrate diversity. So I have tried, really hard to represent as much as possible within the book, whether it is, people who have different thinking capabilities, whether it is people who have different physical disabilities, or, different abilities, whether it's a crutch, whether it's cochlear implants, whether it is skin color, or whether even things like how we eat food. I have a page dedicated to how some people eat food with their hands, how some people use utensils, and, regardless of how people are, what they say, how they speak, how they look, they deserve to be respected and valued and cherished. So I hope that book becomes as popular as See You Soon did, because it is a book that we need to read, and it is a book that our children need to read to bring that unity and celebration of diversity around us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dilraz, for reading your
It's been
wonderful
an
book
absolute
today.
pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, we have, let's see if we can get her on and get you off. Next, we have Priya from Eternal Books, and I am so excited. Priya, so we've had Dilraz read her book. I just read my book, How Our Skin Sparkles. And we are going to have a, yay! I am so excited.
I can't see you, Aditi.
You can't see me. I am right
No.
here. Your video was off.
My video is on, right?
No, it's not. It's off. I saw
Can
the
people
I saw the
can people
button
see me?
say sorry.
Can people see me? Because I can't see you.
No, no one can see you. Okay. Okay.
So I think people can see me. You can't see me, and I can't see you. I don't know why this is happening.
What phone do you have?
Samsung, whatever it is, the latest one, S series.
Okay, so Mihika can see both of us. So that's interesting. This is going to be fun.
So Aditi has a blank screen in front of her, and I have a
No,
blank screen.
I can see myself, which is very odd. I can
Yeah,
see
I can see
myself.
myself too.
Okay, great. So that's great. But just make sure you, when you're reading, keep the book a little in the center, like just below your chin, so that it's visible. Because I know when the screen is full, the placement of the book is different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can everyone see the book? Like, if someone can comment if they can see the book, then
Perfect. Radhika
okay.
is saying she can see you, so that's great. Wow, guys,
Why is this happening?
technical problems of new level we have. Okay. So please tell everyone a little about yourself.
So hi, I am Priya Kumari. I'm the founder of Eternal Tree Books, a publishing company which brings out books, uplifting books on Indian and other Asian cultures. Please do check out our page. There are many children's books, all uplifting. There is a series on festivals, on Hindu values, ways of life, mindfulness, yoga. So name it, you have it there on Indian and Asian cultures. But we are adding more books every year, at least 4. So do keep checking that out.
Very, very exciting stuff happening, I know. Let's talk about why you're reading the book you're reading today.
Yes. So I have my Holi. I didn't think of any better book to read in March because Holi is in March this time, and I thought it would be lovely for people to know a little bit about the book and this part of the book I'm reading.
Wonderful. Okay, so we can get started.
Yeah. So this is my Holy Colors of Cheer, written by me and my sister Komal Garg. And the book has a testimonial from the actor Hema Malini.
Lovely.
And what I'm reading today, so we all know about the fire ritual that we do the night before the main day of Holi, right? Today I was reading the legend behind the Holi ritual. I have not come across any book for adult or children that covers this story, but I know that my children had this question and they wanted to know why we do this ritual. So why I could still answer, but I wanted to also read the legend behind it. So I put that in the book. Can everyone see it? Yes. Okay. And why did we talk? And why did we walk around the holy fire yesterday? Asks Leela. So Leela and Adi are the two main characters in the book. Leela is a little girl and Adi is her elder brother. Let me tell you the story of Dhunda, joins Ma. Once Yudhishthira asked Lord Krishna, Lord, why do we light fire on Holi? Lord Krishna relates the story of King Raghu, who always followed the path of dharma. Once his subjects complained, O king, Dhunda is causing great suffering to our children. Please help. The king asked his guru for advice. What did the guru say? Asked Leela. Dhunda has such a power that no weapon can defeat her. She cannot be defeated in hot, cold, or rainy weather. But when two seasons meet, joyfulness can disempower her. To defeat her, everyone should enjoy, dance, say funny things, and laugh. Children should carry wooden swords in their hands as if they are battle ready. Medicinal substances should be collected and offered into fire. Everyone should take 3 rounds of fire. This can destroy the demoness, advised the Guru. The demoness here refers to illness due to weather change. The fire ritual protects us from illnesses, tells Ma. So, the children who are listening now, I hope you know why we do the fire ritual. Fire is very important in In most of the indigenous, I would say all indigenous cultures, fire holds a special place. It helps to fertile the land after agriculture. It takes away all the impurities in the air. So Holi happens in spring season, right? So two seasons are meeting then. And this fire ritual helps us stay healthy and keep away all the viruses. So that's the reason we have that. And this is my holy colors of cheer. Aditi, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Wonderful. I am so this even I didn't know the story, so I'm so excited. I love learning new things. It is always so important to keep exploring. Before you go, of course, you have to answer what book impacted you growing up.
So this is a very difficult question for me because there was never one book which impacted me growing up. So my dad had a bookstore, right? So I got to read variety of topics, and especially which inspired me were the ones on Indian epics, characters, and Panchatantra, Jataka tales, Ramayana,
Yes.
Mahabharata, the stories of Buddha. So all these makes me what I am today.
Yeah.
And that's why Eternal Tree came into being.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yeah, these are the stories which inspired me, and that is what I want to share with the children of today, the values of Indic cultures, value of Asian cultures.
Wonderful. So, and what women inspired you? Since it's Read Across America Day and Women's History Month, we are sharing about the women who inspired us.
So the two women which inspired me, I would say, is Ahilya Bhai Holkar and Jijabai.
Yeah.
Jijabai hold a very important place in my heart because I'm a mother of two now. And she was a very strong mother. She made what Shivaji was. She
Yeah.
made him. So all these ladies, they inspire me a lot. Because what we read usually is how Indian women were oppressed, and there was illiteracy and all these during the colonial and the 1,000 years of history of invasions, right?
Yeah.
But what I like to read among those from those years is the inspirational story, that how still women were reading, writing, they were running empires, right? Jijabai was running an empire because her husband, and most of the queens, right? They lost their husband in young ages because they were fighting the invaders, and they were actually running the empire till their sons became 10, 11, 12, and they were coronated. So actually these women were well trained. They knew politics, they knew civics, they knew geography, they knew everything, which is really interesting. And that is what I want young girls to know, especially because there are so many stories which just makes us feel that history is lacking in inspirational stories, especially portraying girls. But no. Look up Jijabai, look up Ahilyabai Holkar. Rani Lakshmibai is the most famous one. People know about her. Yeah.
Yeah, no, wonderful. I would, of course, like you to also share a little bit about your other books.
So I have, in fact, one new book launching on Kickstarter next week. I Am a Lotus. It's written by Anu Sehgal of the Culture Tree and illustrated by very talented Diya Chakravarti. Check her page out, Inkist to Paper. And just support us when the Kickstarter is live on Tuesday.
Yes,
and share with your
definitely.
friends and family. And by supporting, I don't mean you buy the book always. Even if you share with your friends and family, your network, your teachers, anyone you know, that's a big support for a small business, right? Right, Aditi?
Yes, definitely.
That doesn't cost anything.
Keep talking to people who reach out to me often that, hey, we love your work and everything. I was so excited to find your book. And then I say, there are many ways that people don't know that you can support us authors. You don't really have to, you can invest your time and energy instead of your money. Of course, money is preferred. Let's not lie. But yes, because of course, when you support us with your reviews, with sharing our content, it shows us that what we do matter. And it
Yeah.
inspires us to keep creating more products and keep creating more stories for you as well.
Yes. So you guys are the fuel for us,
Yes,
right?
yes, definitely, definitely. Oh, I wish I'd seen you, Priya.
Yeah, me too, Aditi. We have to do a WhatsApp video call
Yes,
to see
to
each
make
other now
to
one
make
day.
up for this. Okay,
Yes.
you have been very fast. We still have time. So, is there anything you want to share with everyone who's watching before you leave?
Uh, Let me see what will benefit all of us. We are taking our time today
Yeah,
and doing this readathon.
yes,
So please read the caption, see the handles
perfect,
who have participated in today's
per-
live, and share
perfect,
with your friends. How about that?
perfect. Thank you so much. Now, I don't know if Radhika is even there now. Let me just
What's
check
the
if
time?
Radhika is online. It's 10,
Okay,
11.
11. Okay, so 4 minutes early, but yeah,
No, no, that's okay. She must be there, hopefully.
yeah.
Let me just try adding her. I
I,
hope I can see her
I
because
can
this is making
just
me
show
very
some pages.
nervous.
Why?
I
We can
don't
just chit chat till then,
know.
and I
No,
can
that's
show you more pages. So
okay.
for festival
Perfect.
series, I'll just also cover that one special thing about festival series is it answers the question why about the Indian festival, why we
Yeah.
do things the way we do, why we eat those things during that time of the festival, um, and also a real life experience to relate to that value which that festival instills in you. So Holi is like a pre-harvest festival. So in the fire ritual, you offer the grains, the
Yes.
wheat,
Yes.
the young wheat to the fire, right?
Yes.
See here. So they are offering the young wheat. So to relate to that value where we respect our farmers, we cherish we respect our farmers and we need them, right, to survive. The story has this episode where the family goes to visit a farmer and get this young wheat to offer to the fire. So this is an episode which is there in Holi. In Diwali, there's a different episode of showing good over evil. In Janmashtami, there is another one about bullying, how he derives inspiration from Krishna. And now we have coming up with Ganesh Chaturthi, so that will have another one. So yes, do look out for those inspirational real life incidences in these books.
Wonderful. So we have sorry, I'm blanking on Radhika or Radha.
Because you're
Radhika.
not
Radhika.
looking at me, right? You're
Sorry.
missing the inspiration.
I have Radhika here with me now, and if I'm sorry, please thank you so much for your time today. Of course, Priya.
Right.
This is very awkward because I can't see you.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my face and talking. Imagine. It's like
Yes.
rehearsing
Oh
for a pitch.
gosh. Yes. Oh gosh, it's wonderful. Life is has a way of throwing you curveballs, and this was one of ours today. Hopefully, no more. But thank you so much, Radhika, for joining.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having me
Bye.
here. Bye bye, Priya.
Bye, bye, Priya. Priya, if you've left, can you leave me a WhatsApp message when you leave? Okay. Hi,
Can you
Radhika.
see me,
So
Aditi?
nice to see you.
Yes, same
I,
here,
I,
and I'm so excited. My first readathon.
your first readathon. Is this your first live also?
Yes, I was the one with all the questions.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I will tell you that there are so many people who do their first live on Raising All Children, and it makes me so happy to be able
Yes,
to do that because I know there's a huge hesitation. Everyone who's watching this, please understand it is not easy to go on lives. It is not easy to go on camera and especially talk about your book babies. It's
yeah.
not. So I'm very proud of you, Radhika. If you needed to hear that today, I'm saying it to
Yes,
you. Uh, please
thank
share a
you.
little bit more about yourself with everyone.
Yeah, so I'm an educationist. I have worked in the domain of education for 3 decades now. I began my career 15 years as a kindergarten teacher, and that's when I fell in love with children. And after that, I worked in the environment sector, and I've been an entrepreneur too. So now life has come a whole round, and I'm back to my core, which is working for little children. And I've started my career as a children's book author. Yeah, so that's me.
Wonderful. And which book are you going to be reading today?
Oh, you guys are going to feel hungry because it's night over here and it's morning there. I'm going to read Would You Like to Eat a Goal Gappa? Are you all ready for this?
No, I'm not. Please take that book away from me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and why did you write this book?
Yeah, so it was during the pandemic. Okay, so obviously I'm a Golgappa enthusiast. I'm sad, I need Golgappas. I'm happy, I need Golgappas. I need Golgappas all the time. And I fell in love with it as a little child. In my school, there was a Golgappa wala. And it's just such a funny food. The face you make and what happens in your mouth, it's just so much
Yeah.
fun. And it was in the pandemic when I was sitting and I was really heartbroken with, what was happening in schools, And I said, I need to cheer myself up. I found Upasna on very talented, my illustrator online, and I said she is going to be the one. And we started the book. So I had no thought of publishing. It was just a fun, creative expression for me. And that's how it started. And the book is all about make believe. Like I said, I'm a kindergarten teacher. I believe children are extremely creative.
Yes.
And as an educator, that's what I loved. So the whole book is what we call jutti mutti. It's all make believe. It's all masti and
I
fun. So yeah, that's how I
love
wrote.
that. I love it. Now, can you please read the book for us? I'm so excited to hear
Yes.
it.
Okay, it's a picture book.
Yes.
So it says, would you like to eat a gol gappa? It is written by Radhika Suri and illustrated by Upasna Chadda. So in this book, as you see three characters, right? Of course, you see the magnificent Golgappas. There's this little girl. Her name is Kai. This is Pai. And that's my grand dog. His name is Gobi Manchurian. Okay. Now, Kai, why are they friends, right? Why do you see them together? Is because Kai is a real foodie. She keeps looking for new things to eat and she falls in love with it and becomes very passionate about it. Little Pie loves to eat. So he's obviously keeps falling around so he can eat. And Gobi loves eating all the nibbles that keep falling. So that's who you're going to meet in this book. Okay, so let's begin. So it begins, both of them have come back from school and are sitting outside. And Kai says, I love Golgappas. Pai and Gobi are just listening. And then suddenly he jumps and he says, What? Golgappas? What is that? And she says, Yes, Golgappas. Now they're very curious to know what is this funny food called Golgappas. So she explains. She says, It is a round ball. When you eat it, it tastes sweet, spicy, sour, and it goes crunchy munchy. Okay, so then obviously, Pai and Gobi are intrigued. They're like, what do we do now next? So she says, do you want to try one? So they both go, yes, we want to try one. And so then she shows them how do you make a golgappa. So she says, you first take this crispy ball, you knock a hole very carefully into it, knock, knock. And then you put some potatoes and some chutney and sauces. And then you put your cold water. And once you put your cold water, you have to open your mouth big and wide, not just big, but really wide. And you open it, and then you put the golgappa inside, and both of them eat it. and it's crunchy and yummy. And Gobi says it's so tasty. And then all three of them go into a dreamland with Golgappas. And they both fall in love. All three of them fall in love with Golgappas. And finally, she says, "Here comes another one." And he opens his mouth big and wide. And she puts the Golgappa in. And then they make Golgappa faces, which I told you in the beginning are very funny. So you open your mouth, you pull in air, and you eat it. And that's what the book is about. And there are two worksheets in this also, where you can see, they have their mouths so big, so you can draw Golgappas in this. And this book is
Nice.
published by Tota Books. Yeah.
Nice.
And,
Wonderful.
and it's, of course, India's favorite street food. So the back talks about also the Golgappa names. So Golgappa has many names. Like sometimes we have a second name at home. It has so many names. It's called Pani Puri, Batasha, Puchka. And the funniest one is in Odisha, they call it Gupchup. So it has lots and lots of funny names. So that's my book.
Wonderful. That's so cute. And I have to tell everyone that Golgappas are liked by all beings. It is not just a human food because my dog too, if you're having pani puri or puchkas or Golgappas, she'll be sitting right next to us and she'll be like, "Hey, I want one too," and we have to give her. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
yes, Golgappas are a favorite of mine too. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Radhika, for eternalizing
Thank you.
Golgappas.
Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
wonderful. So, as we're asking all the authors, because of course it's Read Across America slash today world, we made it World Day. So, what book shaped your childhood?
Yeah, so when you in fact shared, I had this identical
Yes.
answer, and truly, so I was not that great at studying and reading big fat books,
Mhm.
but comics really helped
Yeah.
me read books and understand history and so many more things. So Amar Chitra Kathas were my favorite. There were comics like Phantom and Mandrake, and I like those too. But Amar Chitra Katha,
Yes.
it was for me, and I read them again and again. I can literally smell them now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
They have a very particular smell. I don't know if it's the printing press there or what it is, but
yeah,
Amachatra Katha have a very particular smell, and that's even now they have that smell, which is like very odd.
smell.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
interesting you
it
brought
was
that up.
Amar Chitra. Yeah, yeah,
But they're so full of, if you don't know, Amachitra Katha is a series of comic book kind of books. I should have kept one actually. They talk about mythological stories, historical stories. Panchatantra Kathas also are there. So they have a whole series and they pretty much form, they were, I think, the Archie comics of our childhood, which also I
yes,
grew
and
up
very,
on.
very simplistic and
Yes,
easy to read, and
yes,
very
easy
nice
to read,
illustrations.
and they made
Visuals were good.
they were they still had a lot of depth. So like even I read them now also because I love
Yeah,
remembering and remembering
yeah.
the stories and learning from them. And I see so many new things, no, so many new lessons in them as an adult. So that's really interesting. And since it's Women's History Month, what women inspires you?
Again, I'm copying you, Rani of Jhansi.
Yes,
So, yeah, in the 1800s, to
yes,
be a woman of
yes,
that strength, I think
yes.
so that really, really always inspired me. And of course, she did brave things. I rebelled at home, so my parents know that, and my husband knows how what a
Yes,
rebel I am. So,
yes.
yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
Rani of
I, I,
Jhansi
I
for sure.
I think I'll be very honest with everyone watching that I think I have an affinity to Jhansi Ki Rani also because every time I would rebel, like you said, or do something extraordinary, like maybe be the first in all the school and all that stuff. So my mom would be like, "Oh, Jhansi Ki Rani banti ja rahi hai," kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
yeah,
that's something a lot of parents used to say affectionately that "Oh, okay, fine, you're
yeah.
like kind of you're making your own path, you're doing your own thing." So that's very
Don't fight.
interesting.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I wanted
And
to add one thing,
yes,
Aditi, can I?
yes, of
So like
course.
I said, as a child, I didn't read as much. And what I've started doing now is I read my adult book and I read a child's book because I feel it's never too late to get back. And I miss so many lovely children's books.
Yeah.
So I read this Charlotte's Web by E.B. White,
Wonderful.
and I cried and cried in the end when Charlotte died. And I never looked my the way I look at spiders has totally changed. So I mean that's the power of books, and I also felt it's never too late to pick up a children's
Yes.
book. And they're so beautiful and they're so simple. So when you're very tired, you don't need a heavy adult book. You can read a children's book. So it used to work for me. So
No,
yeah.
definitely. And I would encourage everyone. I know we are doing this readathon for kids, but I truly believe, and I read this when I started writing books, and I believe this. And no matter what author I've worked with in helping them publish their books, be it Sangeeta, be it Dilraz, be it anyone, we have always had a conversation about what we can teach adults, what we can represent to
Yeah.
adults while writing this book. And it's so
But
important to show things like, how to be a better human, how to be, or maybe the layering when you're showing about the relationships between humans. I think that's beautiful. So, yes,
yeah,
and especially please, as adults, don't say that, oh, I don't have time to read. You have time to read, you just choose not to. It's like
true.
going to the
Yeah.
gym. Consider reading gym for your brain.
Brain. Yes. Yes.
So, thank you so much, Radhika, for your time today. I am so excited. Please share a little bit about your next projects.
Yes, so I have written a book on, of course, jalebis.
Oh,
And
nice.
there's one coming up on idlis this year. I'm also starting a YouTube channel called Tales with Radhika. So they're going to have read alouds and also music. So I felt there are many children who don't like to read. So I have a Gol Golu Golgappa jingle coming up and a jalebi jingle. So I'm
Nice.
also bringing some music into my books. So that's
Wonderful.
what's happening for me. Yes.
Lovely. I hope you read one of my books someday on your channel.
Yes, of course I will. I will.
I
Thank
the
you.
it's funny how sometimes we have such wonderful personalities when dealing with kids, right? I myself tutor kids in my afternoons, Monday to Thursday, and I love the time I spend with them. It's so wonderful.
Yes.
It's so good for your soul because kids have a
Yeah.
way of showing you who you really are, and I think that's
Uh,
beautiful. Thank you so much, but for
Thank
putting
you.
so many more years into teaching kids and nurturing them.
Thank you. Thank you for having me,
Of
Aditi. It was wonderful.
course. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Next, we have, let me just quickly check because I could be wrong. Next, we have Upasna. She is going to be reading her book. She is from Peerbug's Tales or Stories, Peerbug Stories. Yes. I have read How Our Skin Sparkles. Dilraz has read See You Soon, a book about separation anxiety that kids face. We have had Priya join, who shared a little bit, a very important aspect of Holi with us from her book Holy, My Holy. And we just had Radhika Suri share her wonderful book about Golgappas, which was Golgappas. And now we have Upasna joining us. Okay. Upasna, can you please just send a request? For some reason, I cannot add people. It is so wonderful. These authors, I tell you, we are so in love with what we do. I just this week decided that, hey, I want to do this. I would love to be able to do this for kids. And these wonderful authors just sharing their time just because they would love to share their books with any kids who want to read. And I think that's so wonderful. To rejoin us. And now we will have Peer Bug Stories, Upasna joining us. Okay, 1 second. I hope we do not have. Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Success.
it's successful. I was there, so I do not know. Maybe sometimes Instagram wants you to restart.
I don't
So,
know. I think what is happening, at least for my phone, this
yeah.
is my theory as an engineer, is that every time someone joins, I think it's considering it as a new host. So it was limiting the number of people that I could join because I don't have an iPhone. I have a Samsung. So
Okay.
yes, thank you so much for your patience. We're just a little over time, so I think it's fine. Relax, deep breaths.
No worries.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Upasna. Please share a little bit about
Yeah.
yourself.
So my name is Upasna, and I run a nonprofit in Austin. It's called Peer Bag. Peer and Bag. Peer comes from a saint, and Bag means garden. So it's Garden of the Wise. And I've had about 20 years of marketing and communications. I began as an engineer, graduated to marketing, and I tell the story to a lot of people, which I consider my origin story. I had a team member in an actual meeting on Zoom say that non-native English speakers cannot be creative. And I said, this is something we need to figure out why people have that ignorance. And part of it is the representation we see in our books as kids and adults, and especially in our K through 12 system. So that kind of led us to creating a nonprofit that would do its part in helping solve the problem of representation and offering kids and educators and parents resources and tools. So what we do at Peerbag is that we host storytelling workshops for kids and adults, and we do lots of different events at libraries and schools so we can expose them to South Asian heritage, culture, books. And so that's what I do nowadays in my full-time life. And I also write. I've always been a reader. I've always read tons and tons of books growing up. And so I think writing was very much a part of my life always. And now I think this organization sort of allows me to channel that well.
Wonderful. So, which book are you reading for us today?
So today I'm going to read this book called Prahlad and Nida Learn About Holi, because it's obviously Holi. And it's a special book. I want to give a shout out to Neela, Muskan, Anjali, and Rian. These are kids from Austin and Montreal who gave lots of ideas for this book. And we ended up doing this almost as a part of our storytelling workshops, which I then put together, edited. And a lot of kids know about the festival if they are South Asian. But they wanted to read something in comic book style. So this book has been laid out like a comic for them to understand.
Wonderful.
It follows the story of two characters called Prahlad and Nida, whose names get mispronounced all the time in school. And so Prahlad is a bit tentative about sharing his heritage because he gets picked on. And then, they're doing a project together about, a world heritage culture that they want to share. And somehow his mom tells him the story of Holi, and they end up doing that project together. And so that's how they get to know about the festival, they get to understand why it's celebrated, and they also learn about Prahlad and think of him as a superhero. So he feels more confident in himself and his identity in the end. And the book has tons of journaling pages or extra facts, and it also has how can you make your own Holi colors. It has recipes for making Holi colors. So that's really what the book is about.
Wonderful. So, I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so let's get reading.
Of course. And so I am going to try and read. This is a little bit of reading. I'll try and show you visuals as I can, but I'm going to read a part of the book. So it's January 17th. This is in Austin. Prahlad, Holi is coming. Do you want me to get laddus this year? Wait, what's Holi? Nothing. Just an Indian festival. Now this is Prahlad, Nida, and Prahlad's mom who are talking. And now Prahlad. It's so hard to stop Mama from sharing her latest Indian food. My birthday and Holi are coming soon. So she has been talking about laddus all the time. Wait, is this the one with colors? My Baba celebrated two in Delhi. How about yours? Oh, really? My parents are from Agra. Maybe you should both do a project on Holi. Is there a story? Ma! Sure. Are you interested? I don't know how we got talking about Holi. Sometimes Mama can tell stories. She came to my preschool to tell the whole class about Diwali once, but she has never shared the story for Holi. So here we go. Now this is Mama, and you get into the backdrop of Holi, and so these has these old pages because it's once upon a time. Asura king Hiranyakashyap, the king of Multan, defeated the Devas in a battle. Devas and Asuras are divine beings, and they have the same father, Rishi Kashyap. Devas were born to his wife Aditi, and Asuras were born to his wife Diti. The king of Devas was Indra, and he was very upset that he got beat in the war against the Asuras. So while fleeing, Lord Indra captured Hiranyakashyap's wife, Kayadhu. This was so unfair. So Narad Muni, a devotee of Vishnu, helped release Kayadhu. Her unborn child, Prahlad, listened to Narad's chants. He was taught by Narad in his childhood and became a devoted follower of Vishnu. Meanwhile, Asura King Hiranyakashyap, Prahlad's father, was smug about his victory. He had a boon that granted him strong powers, so he could not be easily defeated. He told everyone in the kingdom to worship him and not God Vishnu. He just wanted to be loved by everyone. Prahlad refused to worship his father, King Hiranyakashyap. So he was devoted so much to God Vishnu. This made the king angry. The king then called his sister Holika to punish Prahlad. Holika had a magical cloak that protected her from getting burned in the fire. She dared Prahlad to go into the fire if he was a true Vishnu devotee. She mocked him and said Vishnu could not come to protect him now. She was really burned away, huh? Oh, wow. And that's where I'm going to stop because you have to read what happens in the book. This book is, we are taking this book around schools and libraries here in Austin. We typically perform this story, which means there's props and there's music and dancing when we do the story. But it's also available obviously on Amazon for anyone who wants to take this home and do the story themselves as a read aloud. And my recommendation is for kids whose names get mispronounced all the time. Have a look, because there's always it's a great opportunity to ask your parents why you are named the way you are, and if there is like a meaning to the name, because there's always a why. And so it's a great conversation starter about your names and also the festival. And there's a lot of like really interesting songs, a lot of tidbits about who celebrates Holi. Nida is a character who's Muslim, but she also celebrates because it's just cultural. That's how lots of people would celebrate Holi in places where it was a cultural festival more than a religious one. There's also obviously Sikhs who celebrate it and they call it Hola. So lots of nice tidbits around for you to see how it is the festival of colors and love, and how much kindness can do for you, and why is it a superpower. So this is the book. Yeah.
No, wonderful. That's so amazing. For those who are joining and who don't know what Holi is, because we've had two authors talk about Holi, I just wanted to give a quick summary. I'm sure you have seen Holi or thought of Holi or heard of Holi, where it's the festival of colors, where we throw colors on each other. And this year it's on March 25th. So you can maybe, if your community, you can reach out and see where Holi is being celebrated, because nowadays in US, there are so many Indians now beautifully, there are usually community places where Holi is celebrated on a larger scale. So if you can celebrate it, because Holi is not Sonali is very beautiful. We are going to be doing a collab with other authors, and she's very beautifully going to bring that up, where Holi is not about anyone's age, religion, color, or anything. It's for everyone. So Holi and Diwali both are celebrations that welcome everyone, and they are celebrated by a lot of cultures across the world. So please check out this book, and of course Priya's book, and all the wonderful books that are about Holi. And thank you so much, Upasna, for your time today. Now, since it's Women's History Month, I'm asking all the women, which woman inspires you?
Yeah, I think there's two women who inspire me. There's lots of famous women in the world, so I'm not going to repeat their names. I think, but I do have women in history. Both of my grandmothers, one was called Gauri and the other one was called Lalita.
Lovely.
And I think they grew up in pre-partition India, also pre-partition Kashmir, where I was born as well. And I think raising a family, or just even having the sense of agency to pass on culture to their kids and to their kids takes effort, especially because they both grew up in a time when girls were not really encouraged to study. But culture takes more than just literacy. And they passed on culture through songs. And I think it's something that sometimes we tend to dismiss, but grandmother's songs and stories are very valuable and intangible parts of our culture. And so if you have grandparents, my recommendation is to give them a call, because you're lucky and they have a wealth of knowledge and stories that you can learn from. And so that forever inspires everything I write.
Wonderful. And what book inspired you as growing up?
I think the book I was always reading. So Aditi, I used to make those lists from, I used to get like a library list and literally write down how many 100 books I've read in a year.
Yes.
Sometimes I read books which were a little above my age level, which I don't recommend. But I did read this book, which I loved, which was called Mill on the Floss by, her writing name was George Eliot. Her real name was Mary Ann Evans, who was a British writer. She wrote at a time where women were not getting published. And this book is incredible. And it talks about a girl who's trying to like break the constraints of what the society has asked her to do and sort of be herself and not necessarily fit into the mold of being a perfect girl. And I've always kind of like, that character is played subconsciously in my mind. It was also the first book review and a first character sketch I wrote based on the book. So it's always special to me.
Wonderful. Talking about books that you are not supposed to read growing up, when I was around 16, 17, I read The Fountainhead, and that really shaped the foundation of my value system where work ethic was concerned.
Yeah.
It was not at all appropriate for that age.
No, I remember. I think I was 17 when I read it, and I read it in 4 days, like literally, because it's super engaging. And, again, it has to be like read with caution, because there's lots of themes there, which right now you would be like, oh my goodness, this is not what you want. But there are parts of the book, especially around work ethic, that will inspire. I had a whole Ayn Rand, like, I guess, several years dedicated to her.
Yes.
Yes.
We've all had. I've read all the books at multiple times because, like you said, of course, a book is we have to remember a book is a story. Not everything you're going to agree with, which I of course can understand. But the work ethic aspect, I think that is something we're losing, and I think that is something that we should get back to. But that's a conversation for another time. And Upasna has a wonderful series going on, in which even I have spoken about culture and our relationship to it. So do check that out. And what's coming up next for you?
Yeah, so I have a book coming up which is for adults, but because I was born in Kashmir, a lot of people get excited and they're like, "Oh, you're Kashmiri," and then the next question is, "What language do you speak?" So I speak Kashmiri. That's the name of the language. That's how people get the name as well. And I worked with another author called Mr. Ashok Dullu, and we worked for about 2.5 years on this book where we've translated songs from 700 years. We have about 20 songs that are translated. They were not documented, so it's very hard to find lyrics. And the book is written in Devanagari, in Urdu, as well as English, so that it's accessible information. We have written the lyrics by listening to songs over and over and then translated them and provided a context to about 20 poets. And many of them are women. Many of them were completely uneducated and literally just sang. So it's a great way for us to document the knowledge that was coming from the region. And it also talks about what we don't see right now is the composite culture of the valley, which was not always in conflict. So it has influences both from Islam, both from Shaivism, where it's a mixed culture, which is about peace and love. So hopefully people get that message from the book, but I'm excited about that. It'll be released in 24.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. I am so excited for this readathon that's happening. Wonderful women coming and sharing wonderful stories and doing wonderful work. Thank you so much, Upasna, for everything you're doing.
Thanks, Aditi.
Bye. Okay, now let's try and get Devika Publications on. Hopefully without any technical glitches. Hi, Devika.
Hi, can you see me and can you hear me? Because it's cat outside. So
can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
I think you've joined since the beginning, so I think you've seen the hilarious things that have happened during this live.
I just excited. I like to read children's books and I like to what others authors are doing, I'm very much interested in that as well.
No, of course. That's how we learn and grow, right? When we observe others and when we learn things. So it's wonderful chatting with you face to face. There are so many people I know online, and then I chat to them face to face on a live for the first time. I think you're one of those, a huge admirer of your work. Thank you so much for participating in this readathon for Read Across America slash world, I would call it. Please share a little bit about yourself and your publication.
Hi, I'm Devika Zobekar. Who don't know me, I'm a children's book author and illustrator. I'm an engineering graduate, but my, the art, I started drawing when I was doing engineering. And so I switched my career really early in my 20s. So, because, in 20s, you're careless. So thanks to my I switched my career and I have been doing illustrations for almost over a decade now. And how I started writing and publishing is that I used to do illustrations for other authors, and I had so many ideas and stories about Indian culture, Indian festivals. So I just thought, why I should just jump into it and start writing and publishing my own stories, mostly the Indian. And that's how I started publishing with Mihika Publications. And so far we have 16 titles.
Wonderful. So, which book are you reading for us today?
Today I'm going to read, can you see the book?
Yes.
Lilu Makes Tattoos.
Love.
It's so far we have six books in this series, and as you know, if you are reading Indian books, there are so many amazing Diwali books already in the market. So I just thought, why not write something about DIY projects, which I did when I was a kid. So this series has a lantern book, Rangoli book, Diya book,
Wow.
then this Laddu book. There is one more book called Lilu's Rakhi and Lilu's Ganesha, where the book tells how to make like a small Ganesh idol at home.
Wonderful.
So I'm Lilu makes laddus, and laddus is my so
wonderful.
Yeah, so this series features Lilu and her younger brother Little Cuckoo and a small cat. So let's begin. Here comes the festival of lights, Diwali. Hi, I'm Lilu, big sister of Little Cuckoo. Little Cuckoo wants me to give him a Diwali gift. Probably not a big football like last year, which he couldn't even lift. Let's see, what would he like? I know Little Cuckoo likes to eat. Maybe I should make him a yummy treat. But Mom has already made so many sweets. Now what else can I do? Wait, I don't see Little Cuckoo's favorite laddu. For laddus, I would need sugar, raisins, ghee, cardamom powder, and lots of gram flour. Mom said, let me help you that way. We will finish making them in an hour. First, place the pan on the stove and add the ghee. Wait till it melts. Don't rush. While cooking, patience is the key. Now add the gram flour to the ghee and stir it well till it turns golden brown. While Mom is helping, and I fancy myself wearing a chef's crown. The color has changed and it smells so good. Now let's take it off the stove and let it cool. Add sugar, raisins, and mix it well. If I'm forgetting anything, please do tell. Wait, I need to add the cardamom powder. How can I forget? It adds to the taste, you can bet. Now, take some of the mixture and mold it into a laddu, big and round. Be careful not to leave a mess around. How about adding cashews as garnish? Good idea. Now, that's a finish. Yippee! All done! Watching the joy on little Cuckoo's face will be fun. Next thing I need is a box to gift pack. Let me see if I can find something on the big rack. The box of laddus is ready. Yay! I have a wrapping paper which has picture of a teddy. Tonight is Diwali. Wherever I see there is light. Little Cuckoo must be in the kitchen looking for a small bite. Mommy, you forgot to make my favorite laddus. Little Cuckoo cried. Hey, he is about to be surprised. Look, little Cuckoo, here is your favorite laddu. He was so happy that he gave me a kiss and a hug too. Little Cuckoo had some of the laddus, not one or two, but three. I'm so glad that I can't hide my glee. Little Cuckoo said that laddus are full of goodness in every bite. We wish you all a very happy Diwali full of light.
Yay.
Yay. And this book also has a detailed recipe if you want to try.
Wonderful.
It's a very simple recipe, so kids with your, of course, with help with your parents, you make laddus at home.
Of course, no. And thank you so much for reading. It's so much fun to learn new things. I'm not great at making laddus. Yesterday night is the first time I finally got Kada Prasad correct. So I'm so excited just by that. You can tell me to cook any savory dish, but sweet dishes are my weakness. They're my Achilles heel. So we have to check that out.
You know, I'm not good at making like spicy food, but if you ask me to make sweet, I'm always ready.
Wonderful. So perfect. We need to have a dawat sometime soon.
Yeah, I wish we lived in same city, at least on same coast.
I know. There are so many authors. I wish they were closer to me. Well, we can plan something soon.
Absolutely.
But before you go, thank you so much, of course, for your time today. Please share a book that inspired you growing up or shaped you.
First of all, you know how I started drawing, because I'm a huge fan of RJ, the creator of Tintin. So Tintin always inspired me to read and actually draw, because I wanted to draw something like that. But I started really in the later, like during my engineering. But that one series, and another series is Chanda Mama. I don't know, many people know a bit, because I think now I think that publishing house doesn't exist. But you know, my father got me old volumes which were published in 60s and 70s, and the illustrations were mind-blowing. I haven't seen any. Yeah.
Yes.
So those are the books which inspired me to read. And I think Chanda Mama laid the foundation, because now I'm writing a lot about not just culture, but Indian history, mythology, and that actually inspired. Chanda Mama is a big inspiration.
Chanda Mama, the best part, I think, of Chanda Mama was the Vikram and Betal series they carried through them, which was incredible. I mean, in Kuwait, I didn't have access to books. We didn't have a thing called libraries and stuff. And the libraries used to be like for adults, which has like very technical books. But when I used to go to India on the railway station, we used to get books from there. And then we used to take them. Thankfully, that time, I don't know if that's even a thing anymore. But I'm sure they have bookstores.
And of course, Amar Chitrakatha, but many authors have already mentioned
Yes.
it. So
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. I think that's for our 80s, 70s kids, 90s kids. It's huge because that's what forms because my parents never took the time to teach us mythology. It was just through the books. At least my parents. I'm just talking about my parents. Let's not talk about generally. But yeah, and which women in history inspires you?
I don't want to repeat Ahilyabai, Jizabai, and Lakshmi Bai, but I want young kids to read about Anandi Gopal Joshi. She
Oh,
comes from town Pune, and
wonderful.
first Indian female doctor,
Oh,
and she died young. She was 22, but she came to US in 1884.
uh,
She did her degree in Western medicine, and just I cannot imagine, like, when she was very young, she was 19, and she came to Pennsylvania. Even us, I mean, we came here in 2000s, and we had to adjust with the culture, weather, and she came almost 130, 140 years before, and she's a true inspiration, I think, for all young girls. That she came from a middle class family. She was not a royal or anything, but
yeah,
in that era, if she managed to do a degree in medicine, we can do anything.
wonderful. It's so important to learn from these, and I would like to repeat what Priya said, is that a lot of people have this misconception that Indian women have been only not that they haven't been, but they have only been, put down, and they are like second class citizens. And even a lot of women today say that, oh, we are second class citizens. But I would like to tell people that Indian women, especially, have a lot of them have been so strong in taking care of their families and creating legacies, and there have been cases and wonderful in history that you can find out more about. We have had 4 5 shared here, so that's incredible. I hope you take the time and read up about them, because it's Women History Month, and we should, of course, take the time. Of course, you should take the time all year round, but since it gives you a theme to follow,
Yeah,
so it's wonderful.
yeah.
So before you leave, please share what's next on your publication.
There is a lot in the pipeline. Right now, I'm working on next Lilu book. I have this, it's author's copy. It's called Lilu's.
Oh,
Yeah. And there is one more book I have been working since last year. It's a wordless picture book, but to my surprise, it's harder than actually picture book with text.
I'm
So
sure.
actually rewriting and redoing a lot of illustrations. So that is one in the pipeline. I just finished writing a series, which I still need to rework and do the illustrations. And there is also one new book coming in Krishna series, because last year I published first Krishna book, Krishna, the Butter Thief of Gokul. So I'm writing
Mm,
next book in that series. So lot of things are going on.
lovely. No, that's always the case. That's what keeps us going, right? When we have this, uh, we are so passionate about what we do. Thank you so much for your time today. I was telling everyone earlier that I planned this week, and everyone was so quick to come in and volunteer their time, which is wonderful. So if you would like to support us for this endeavor, and you want us to keep doing it, please make sure you support all these authors, so it inspires us to keep participating in creating such readathons more and more. And thank you so much, Devika, for your time today.
Thank you. And I just want to request everybody that even if you don't buy the books, we
Yes.
most of the authors, we keep the books for free time to
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Please read the book and please do review. That is the
Yes.
best way to support.
Yes.
You don't want to
Yes.
buy. Yeah, that
I know, because we need cheerleaders, guys. That's the truth. I mean, I know where validation is supposed to come from outside, but for creative people, validation comes from investment, and it comes from reviews and from people who support you in every which way. So if you can please take the time to, these are free ways. You can just share our content. You can share information about our whatever we are creating. We have free activities books. If you can create those and post them about them, and of course grab the books, leave reviews, and if you can, of course, support us by buying our books. That would be amazing. And of course, the main thing which I would love for people to know is you can request your libraries to order our books. Please make sure you do that. You don't even have to, you can request, you can go to your library, take the book cover, the librarian will help you and find the page on which you can request it. I will be creating a reel about this so that you can how to better do that. And that's it for today. This was the very first readathon organized at Raising World Children. I'm so thankful for all the authors who came on here. Thank you so much
having us, because I really enjoy learning about other authors. And guys, please do share, and instead of sending us a DM about how you like the book, just go on Amazon and write a review.
Yes, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that up. That would be amazing. Bye. Okay. That was it, guys. The first readathon for Read Across America. If you want more of these, hit me up in the DMs. Make sure you check out How Our Skin Sparkles by me and the Sparkling Me series of books. Dilraz Kulnumal's new book is out. Make sure you head on over to her page to check it out. Radhika Suri's Gol Gol Golgappa and her series. Priya from Eternal Tree Books has a Kickstarter happening. Make sure you check that out. Devika just mentioned she's working on a couple of books. Make sure you follow all these people in the caption. And of course, Priya Park Stories is doing wonderful work through her nonprofit. Make sure you check that out as well. Thank you so much. And thank you so much if you joined. Remember, this is part 2 of the Readathon. Check out part 1, which is another video because we have technical difficulties. Bye. Take care.